As soon as you know within your own consciousness, as soon as you are aware of what is true, don't hesitate. Be all in on that. Do not be afraid. Trust in truth. Trust in what feels good. Trust in what resonates. What else are you going to put your faith in? What else deserves your faith? What else deserves your trust? But that state of resonance, that state of wholeness, that if you could objectively go back into your life, you would see that all your beautiful manifestations, all that is great, that is good, that is holy, has come from you, coming from truth. It is the states where you felt most amazing, most alive, most in alignment. So why not use that almost like a scientific experiment? Like, okay, if I look back at my life, all the moments where something great happened, or at least I had a great breakthrough, that was when I was in alignment with myself, when I was coming from my truth, whether that was consciously or unconsciously, that doesn't matter. If you look back at the greatest moments in your life, when you were the most in flow and everything just seemed to work, those were the moments you were connected with your truth. Now we can make that more conscious. We can consciously practice coming from what is true, and then we can scale that. This is what IMX is about. This is what the subtle art of staying true is about, and what I want to transmit, that is such a joy, such an honor, such a privilege, such a blessing to learn to consciously come into that flow state, into that most natural, radiant, loving, where all the qualities you desperately seek for in all of these external manifestation and future events, like love, fulfillment, freedom, abundance, all of that is available right now to you in your natural state. All that is required is for you to take your attention off, in a sense, the old, and place it on what is actually true. And then once you're aware of what is true, go all in on that. Start firing on all cylinders and gently amp that up. You don't have to in one go banana crazy. You can just take it easy, step by step. Okay, let me just be aware. Let me search in my consciousness right now, within my state of being. What feels true? What feels natural? What feels whole? What feels in integrity? And then play that. And you will notice that you will get distracted. You will notice that maybe a fear arises. You will notice that maybe you just become like unconscious again, which is like another way of saying like you forget it. You get distracted by something else. But this is part of the training. Nobody said it was easy. It might be simple, but that doesn't mean it is easy. So if you know that, you can prepare in a sense. If you know you're gonna go on a hero's journey, if you're gonna climb a mountain, you like mentally prepare for it. And when you're mentally prepared for like a challenge, or even like a simple example, when you know that a wave is coming, you can like brace yourself for it. But if a wave hits you and you didn't see it coming, you're like slapped all the way around. So the same is with these things that we call challenges or catalysts that are actually helping you train your muscles in the gym. You need that resistance. You need those distractions to train and discipline yourself back to what is true. Don't you want to live a life that is true, that is fulfilling, that you're naturally confident, you're naturally radiant, naturally all the things in your life come to you? So embrace those challenges. Know that, okay, it's not going to be easy. I'm going to embrace, I'm going to, in a sense, prepare, not anxiously, but just consciously, that I will get distracted. That's just the name of the game, at least in the beginning. It is normal, at least when you're learning to ride a bike, or when you're learning how to walk, or when you're learning how to stay true. In the beginning, you fall over. You have to try and try again. But with walking, even with cycling, maybe not for most, but you when you were trying to walk and you fell over a couple of times, you weren't like, oh, maybe this walking isn't for me. No, you just kept going with like reckless abandon. You were like fearless in that sense. You didn't hesitate. No, I'm gonna walk no matter what. And the desire that you might have of staying true is the same thing. And it might take a while before you're able to walk or learn that bike or like stay true. But it's worth the practice. And it's so natural. It should be like walking. It is almost as important as walking, maybe even more important. I might even say that I'd rather stay true than be able to walk. I know that's a crazy statement, but it's just to show you how staying true, when that is the priority, all else will fall into place that is truly relevant for you. But I've just noticed every time I prioritize, okay, let me first, before I commit, maybe even if I feel like, oh yeah, I have to work out and I also have to work on my breathing and I also have a business that I want to work on. But I could start working on all of these things, but there still feels like there's something missing. And what that was for me was just that I want to come from a truthful place when I'm doing this. Doesn't mean it has to be perfect or I'm always blissed out working on all of these things like working out and my business. But it's just you're coming from a place of integrity. Integrity. It's important. It should be the baseline. It's the foundation, because anything that you do not build on truth will eventually collapse. Because it's built on quicksand. It's not built on a solid foundation, something that you can truly rely upon, something that you can build beautiful creations on. The foundation has to be solid. So just to wrap this up, you want to become aware of what is true. Now don't make this too complicated. Just see truth for now in terms of resonance. What feels wholeheartedly unified with my inner being? Like wholeheartedly. What just feels like straight, like true, like an arrow. That your aim, that your focus is true. And this can start gently, just what resonates, what feels good, and you might need to do some digging, and you might need to quiet the mind a little bit, because all it's saying is things that are not true. That's why they feel so bad. It's because your guidance is letting you know this is not true. So stop entertaining all the mental suggestions. Let it be there, it's fine. But listen deeper. Don't try to understand this on an intellectual level. Just practice this on a vibrational level, on a deeper, more subtle level of awareness. You know how to focus and direct yourself. And you have to maybe seek a little bit until you land on that truth. But once you are aware of that truth, like give yourself completely to that. Put all your faith in that. Like do not hesitate, do not fear. And at a certain point you'll forget again. But like we shared in this video, it doesn't matter, you just return to it. You just practice. Just how in the maybe in the gym when you're working out, you don't have to intellectually understand how this is making you stronger and all of these things. Or when you're driving a car, you don't have to understand how the car operates on an intellectual level in order to drive it, like how the motor and the engine and all of these things connect. You just need to drive it. It's the same with just staying true. You don't need to really understand it or intellectualize it too much. Just stay true. Come back to the simplicity of it. Just be aware of what is true and give yourself to that completely, wholeheartedly, till there's nothing left but your truth.